Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome back to my 2d6 dungeon campaign. In the previous episode, I have been moving through this maze, and I am close to encountering the Minotaur. I can hear him huffing and puffing in the next room, and I have managed, I've seen the hooves, I've seen the evidence, I know he's there, we're walking through a maze. So in order to prepare myself for this, I am calling in a favor from Intuneric. It requires me to roll a d6, and I have to roll a 6 or less. I did. That uses up my favor with Intuneric. Now, you can only call in one favor, I believe, per level of the dungeon. I'm going to read it to you, just so it says, you may call for a favor from the gods at any time. You roll a d6, and you have to roll equal to or below your favor points. Well, I had 6. It says calling for a favor happens instantly, does not take up a round. It says you may only call upon the favor of a god once per level, unless an item you possess allows otherwise. So that's it. I have done. You may also only use a god-dedicated space once to gain a favor point. When you unsuccessfully call, you retain your favor point. Well, I did it. What am I asking for? I'm going to ask to heal all my health up to baseline. So I'm back up to 80, which I'm going to need to go against the Minotaur. Now, I've also done a few things. I haven't done this in, for some reason, I knew they existed. You can make special potions that you can throw at enemies, and I have not done it. And so I went back and I reviewed the rules, and I have plenty of supplies that allow me to do it. Unfortunately, what I lacked were the bottles. Now, on this dungeon, I have used up 3 different potions, so I have 3 bottles. I also have my wax kit, which you get when you start a character. I had 1 Zumeros leaves and 2 Cathodo spines. Why is that relevant? Because it has allowed me to create 3 potion bombs. One is called a flame jar. I had all the stuff for it, and it is 3d6 plus 5 damage. I only got 1 of those. I was also able to make, from the Zumeros leaves, I only had 2 of those, 2 shrapnel bursts, and I had the teeth and the wood and the water, it does 2d6 plus 4. Interestingly enough, it also required thread, and I did have thread and a needle. I had a ball of thread and a needle from a previous, well, you know what? I only had 1 of those, so never mind. I only have 1 of those, because it requires 1 needle per potion. Never mind. All right, so I have 1 shrapnel potion, 2d6 plus 4 damage, 1 flame jar, 3d6 plus 5. And throwing those does not count as your action for the round, so you can do something else, which is kind of cool. It says right here that throwing it, let me find it, potion bombs can be prepared outside of combat, which I'm doing. They require an empty potion bottle, which I did. Once primed, okay, the potion bomb is stored in, okay, so I've got it. No penalty for throwing it. You are not prevented from attacking or quaffing a normal potion in the same round, which is good to know. So why is this important? Because I'm getting ready to fight the Minotaur, and this is probably the most powerful, I think it is the most powerful creature I've ever fought. It has 90 hit points, 3,000 XP, so if I defeat it, it will take me up to the next level. It has 3 shift. It has 2 different attacks. Each attack does 2d6 plus some modifier. It also, this is interesting. It blocks on 1s, 3s, and 5s primaries, which is really not good. The 5, well, by the way, I upgraded my 3 maneuvers. Because I leveled up to 8, I got to choose 3 new maneuvers. All of my maneuvers also do a base 2d6 damage plus some modifier. Now, he also blocks on secondary 1s, 3s, and 5s. So the 1 is not good and the 5 is not good, because those I have an attack. Well, no, never mind. 2s and 4s are my secondary. Primaries are my 1, 5, and 6. So the 1 and the 5 will block something, but the 3 will not. All right. It is time. We are going to start combat, but before I go into the room, I am going to use one of my powders of invisibility for a combat, which the combat is the entire, what do you call it? It's a bunch of rounds. The whole combat represents the entire fight with the Minotaur, not just one round. So, and you can't flee from it, which is not good. All right, so in round one, now the powder of invisibility, by the way, gives me a bonus shift. My shift is 3, and on page 9, was it? Nope. The magic items are on page 8. It says powder invisibility. You gain +2 shift for 1 combat. So I am going to burn 1. And I get +2 shifts. So I am up to 5 shift, which means the maximum shift I'll go up to when this is 8. So I can do some massive modifications of my dice rolls. Now the Minotaur gets the first hit, unfortunately. So when I enter the room, he comes at me and he swings, and his first hit is a miss. A mishap. The Minotaur charges low and catches its horns. It's exposed, and so you swing for 3d6 damage. All right. 9, 11. All right, so it goes from 90 down to 79. Not bad. It's already at lower health than I am. All right, I come out swinging. I rolled a 3-1. Now, with my 5 shift, I can change it to a 5-2 easily, and it does 2d6 plus 7, but he blocks on a primary 5 at -5. So it would do 2d6 plus 2. Now, can I do a slug, which is a 1-2, and he doesn't block on that? That would be changing this to a 1 and this to a 2, and I can absolutely do that. So I will change it to a 1-2, which does 2d6 plus 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. 62. Took a big chunk out of him. All right, that was round 2. He comes at me with a 1-5. With his 3 shift, he can get this to a 4, but not a 2. And he definitely can't get this to a 6, so he misses. Turn number 3. I rolled a 6-3, not an exact hit. I was kind of hoping for an exact hit. He does not block on a primary 6, but he does block on a secondary 3 at -4. If I change this to a 6-4, that will be 2d6 plus 5. If I change it to a 1-2, which would require 5, 6. I only have 5, so I can't. So it has to be a 6-4. So it's going to do... well, a 6-4, he doesn't block on 6, and he doesn't block on 4, so it's 2d6 plus 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 is 47. He comes at me with a 5-3. His best hit is the hoof kick, 2d6 plus 8. Now his horn charge, 2d6 plus 3, it wins me, and I'm -2 shift for the next round. That would take me down to 3. I don't know which he... Well, let's see. He can definitely get to 4-2. It only requires 2 shift. Can he get to 6-5 with one of these? He can get to 6 with 2. He can get to 5. So he can do both. So which would I do? The -2 shift isn't going to bother me. Now, if I had 3, that would knock me down to 1. That's a big hit. But all it's going to do is knock me down to 3, which is my normal. But the 2d6 plus 8 is 5 more damage, and I think he would choose that. Let's do 2d6 plus 8. So he knocks it to a 4-2. Do I block on anything? I don't block on a primary 4, but I do block on a secondary 2 at -2. So it's going to do 2d6 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. I am down to 66. Ooh, man. Okay. 66. Plus 16. Yeah, that was right. All right, turn number 4. We get 1 shift each, so I'm at 6. I rolled a 5-5, which is not an exact. I can make this a 6-4, which I always want to do the 6-4. Why? Because it does the maximum damage, and he cannot block on a 6 or a 4. So it's 2d6 plus 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. 48 minus 18 would be 30, so he's going down to 29. He comes at me with a 6-2. He can get to a 4-2 or a 6-5. Again, the -2 shift just doesn't matter. He'd rather do the damage. So he'll come down to a 4-2. So it's 2d6 plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. I'm down to 57. 57. Turn number 5. 2 bonus shift. I rolled a 5-1. With 7 shift, 1... I'll take it to a 6-4. I'm going to do that every time now. 2d6 plus 9. 5 plus 9 is 14. He is down to 15 health. He swings and hits with a 6-2. He will turn it to a 4-2, which is 2d6 plus 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. 42. Ooh, man, he's hurting. Okay, all right. Turn number 6, we both get 3 shift. I rolled a 5-1. Again, I will turn it to a 6-4. It does 2d6 plus 9. All I need to do is roll 6 or higher on this. I rolled a 5 plus 9 is 14. He has 1 health left. He swings with a mishap and takes 3d6 damage, and he is dead. No treasure. How does a Minotaur not have treasure? Come on. All right, but I get 3,000. So this goes up to 15,371, which takes me up 10 health. I'm up to 52. I am now up to level 9. And I get 90 health as my maximum. Can't call in another favor on this level. And when I go up to level 99... I get 444, so my shift is now plus 4. And I go up to 90 health, and I still have my 3 level 3s. So, yeah, all right, very cool. Okay, the Minotaur is done. However, in the room, let's go look at it. It was the bull. It was well, I got to roll. I didn't even encounter the room. There we go. It's a small room. How many exits? 3 is 1 exit. So I would have gone here, and I'll just do this. And even though it's a small room, I'll put the Minotaur in there just so we can be done with it. Minotaur. Let me look up that room, which is on page 86. The Minotaur Hall. Okay. If you survive the Minotaur, you find a chest. Roll on CT4 plus 2. CT4 is on page 22. And I add plus 2 to this roll. That is a 7 plus 2 is 9. There are some wooden cups and a series of pouches containing 96 gold. 3, 6, 9. Now we're talking. I'll re-roll that. Okay, so 10, 20, 37. 37 plus that is 64 gold. That's better. 64 gold. And it also said... chest table 4. I rolled a 7 plus 2. There is also a rune stone. Roll on rune 1. Okay, here we go. I have not added any runes to my weapons. Maybe it's time to do that. Rune 1 is on page 28. Rune 1, roll a d6. Roll a 5. Yips, returning rune. I've used this one before. It makes the weapon, you can attach it to a thrown weapon, and it comes back to you. Yips, returning weapon. So I got a rune, and I did not use my flame jar or my shrapnel potion. I should have. Rune, yips, returning rune. Okay, I will probably add that to an axe, and then I can throw it, and it will come back to me, so I'll get an extra hit. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. So that was the Minotaur. We are finished with that series, so let's go through this door. And all the doors here seem to be archways. It's a maze. So I'm going to find a 2x6 room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2. Hold on, it goes like that. Sorry. And this room is room number 14, and it is a 5-1, which I believe I've already done. I will have to look. This is room number 14. I rolled a 5-1, which, yeah, cold stone. This one's a duplicate. 86, 5-1. Yeah, I already did it. All right, so I got to roll again. I rolled a 3-4, which is the columns. I've already done that one. 2-2. I have not done this one. All right, we have a 2-2. And this is the start of, well, it's a start of a 4-room series called Ceiling Carvings. Ceiling Carvings. This is going to be a 2-1, actually. All right. Above you are many eyes carved into the ceiling. One in the center is large and seems to swirl. Roll a d6 and add your discipline. My discipline's 4. On a 7 or below, you feel dizzy and you collapse, crushing one random potion. I do not. 7 or below, you do. All right. So, and it's an archway. Oh, how many exits? Sorry. 3 is 1. So we'll put it right here. So I did not trigger the trap. Yep. And let's roll another. Let's go through this one. It is a 4x3. So what we'll do is we'll wrap this column down and make it a 4x3 room. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Like that. How many exits? That would be 2. 1, 2. Okay, this is going to be room number 15. And it will be 2-2, which is eyeball vision. In the middle of this room is a large flickering illusion of an eyeball. It turns and looks and blinks at you. It telepathically lifts a random scroll from your pack and casts it on you, then disappears. I don't have any scrolls. Let me see. Do I or do I not? I am pretty sure I do not. I do not. I don't like scrolls, and that has come back to help me. Thank you. All right. 16. Are there... Oh, wait. Let me look and see. Archways. Everything in this dungeon is an archway. It's kind of cool. All right. Let's go through this left door, and if it's a big room, we'll connect it here. It's a big room. 4x6. All right, 4x6. I'll just make it a 6x4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. All right, how many exits? That would be 1. So I will put it going down like this. This will be room 16. And it will be 2-3. 2-3 is sacrifice room. That doesn't sound good. Sacrifice room. All these are unique, by the way. The floor here is scratched with symbols and an old book lays open. Candlestick drips with wax. You search through and find a black feature. a vial of water, and some dried fungi. Roll on IAUT4. IAUT4. Okay, IAUT4 is on page 78. Okay, roll 2d6. That is a 2-4. To one side is a small shattered altar. On it are some broken pots. There is a small statue of Nevizator, still intact, embossed in the backboard. You may make a correct offering for 1 FP. Also, there's an item here. Roll on WRT1. Okay, I have, for Nevizator, I have 3 points. Let's see if I can increase that. Nevizator is, what is he like? Sticks, cloth, hemp, rope, glass orbs, and fire. Well, guess what? I used all that up to make my potions. I used the sticks, I required wood, I used the hemp. Darn it. Okay, well, that's all right. Can't do it. All right, there is one door here. Is it, it's an archway. All right. And we'll go through it. And this next room will probably be where I encounter something. Same size room, 4x6. So what we'll do is we'll just 1, 2, 3, 4 by 6. How many exits? 1. We'll just mirror this one and make it go down. I love sometimes making the dungeon sort of look like there's a plan to it. Kind of cool. Color this in a little bit or shade it in so you can see it a little better. All right. This is going to be room number 17, and it's going to be 2-4. Let's see what's here. The Cyclops. I bet you I'm fighting a Cyclops. Cyclops study. A figure sits at a desk that is covered in paper. It looks up at you and you see one eye. It is the Cyclops. You must fight it. If you survive, in its desk are 2 pouches. Roll on PT3 and PT4. Well, all right. The Cyclops. Up here was the Minotaur. This is kind of cool. I really like this level. This is a bit different. All right, the Cyclops. Let me look at the level. Let me look at the level cards. I'm on level 8, so I got to think this is a level 8 creature. It's not a level 7. It is a level 8, so I will get some XP for it. That's good. How much? I will get 2,700. I'll take that. That'll get me almost to the next level. I think the next level is 20,000 or 25,000. I'm currently at it's 25. So I have to reach, I'm at 15, so I need 10,000 XP more to hit the 25,000 and make it to the next level. Okay. Cyclops has, and it looks like I'm going to be out of time, so I'm going to have to continue this fight in the next episode. Just so you know, it has 70 health, 2,700 XP. It has a ring of telekinesis. It blocks on primary 1s, 5s, and 6s, which is all of my hits. 1, 5, 6. All of mine are primary 1, 5, and 6. It has also floats upward on secondary 5s and 6s, which won't matter. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll continue next week. We will pick up with the Cyclops and then finish out level 9, hopefully, and get to level 10, which I've never been to. We are in uncharted territories for me. This is as high as I've ever been in this game. I hope you'll join me next week. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this game of 2d6 Dungeon. I'll be back in a week. Everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.